Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and today we're going to talk about more Cumber reveals. So we got 4 more cards today, pretty much 3 cards today, but we've got a couple of interactions we want to talk about too. Definitely starting to look a little bit spicier, and I can't wait for the rest of Power Absorption to be spoiled. Whether we're getting more black cards tomorrow or we're going to start on another color, to be seen, but at least we have some stuff to talk about right now. Actually, I think it should be more black cards because we still haven't seen the Mai at the very least. The Trunks did reference a black Mai, so we'll see. However, what we have got here are, an SR, a Unison actually, didn't expect that, and just another card that combos with the deck. So, just wanted to say that if you want to support the channel, you can do so just by liking the video, commenting on it, helping it trend, subscribing, joining the Universe X fam, joining the Discord where we discuss plenty of things, and much more in the description. So, without further ado, let's go into those cards. First one on the agenda, what we have here is Cumber Furious Frenzy. It is a 6-drop card, dual attack auto. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. It gains Servant until the end of your opponent's turn. And then activate main limit 1, black. If your leader is black and your opponent has 2 or more energy and a battle card in play this card from your hand. A couple things I do want to point out here. One, and it also has 19k. One, this card is very, very balanced. It doesn't read if you have 1, it reads if your opponent, 2 energy. It reads if your opponent has 2 energy. Meaning that if you go first, you can't drop this on your opponent going first and they only having, 1 energy up. But you can go into this going second, which is a very, 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 very interesting thing. This card is going to be a very good turn 2 play going second. Just a pretty good play in general. But the fact of the matter is, this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and gain Servant until the end of your opponent's next turn. Very, very, very cool. When you're fighting uphill, right? This is going to be a very, very cool play. If you guys remember the Trunks from last video, you'll be able to do things like, go into your Fu, Z Awaken, use the Z stack mechanic, and then you can do things like, okay, I have 2 energy, you have 2 energy. I am going to play the Trunks to your side of the field. I'm going to search my top 5 for the Black Sand, and then, the Black Sand, and then you're going to draw 1, discard 1. So you resolve those Trunks' effects. Then you play this dude for 1. Activate his auto to give that Trunks Servant. After searching top 5, so currently you are at I guess not even a break even, you're at a -1 at this point, but you've plussed a couple cards from Awakening this turn. You can then give that Trunks Servant and use your Fu to overload it to the bottom of your deck and draw 1. So not only do you not give them the card to combo with, you're going to replenish this card that you just played. And so there are going to be swings and momentum. For anybody who isn't watching, let's say you're going second, right? Little tidbit from editing, Chris. I'm tired. I apparently can't count. I put up 5 fingers, then went down to 4, then realized that you start out with 6 cards, then didn't account for the 7th card. So I just didn't have the right fingers at any given moment. Just listen to the words, not the hands. It's a shift in momentum. My bad. You draw your 6 cards. After this, what you're going to end up doing is, you charge 1, they swing, and you're going to combo 1. So you're down -2. But the next turn, you end up drawing, you charge again, putting you down again at the same amount. And then what you're going to be able to do is play that Fu. That Fu is going to come out and Z-stack, and then you're going to be able to Awaken. As long as they didn't do damage, you're going to get 2 cards, and then you're going to draw 1 from Awakening, putting you up at a pretty good swing. Afterwards, you could play that Trunks, search your top 5, get another card, they draw 1, they discard 1. Afterwards, you can play this Cumber, and then after playing the Cumber, you can give your opponent Servant, or your Trunks on your opponent's side of the field Servant, and then you activate Cumber's effect. Bang, or not Cumber's effect, Fu's Overwhelm, and you bottom deck it and draw 1 card. So you actually keep a pretty good economy when it comes to your cards, and you're also making forward momentum. Putting this guy out is also pretty cool because this is a 19k dual attack on 2. On that turn, you'll have your 15k leader plus your 19k dual attack, and you're going to be able to draw another card just for swinging with the leader. So you're actually coming out far ahead on that Awakening turn, and I actually do like it. The card is statted pretty well, and so your opponent's gonna have to discard, just 2 cards if they want to block both attacks, and it should make some pretty crazy early damage. And this is gonna be good because the next card we're gonna talk about provides a massive amount of momentum. So moving on to that next card, we've got SS Cumber Berserker Barrage. Now there's a lot of text in this card. He's an 8-drop, that magic cost. Auto, if your leader is a black sand card. When this card is played, draw 1 card, then choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, and those cards gain Servant until the end of your opponent's next turn. Crazy. Choose one. This card gains double strike and dual attack for the turn, or this card gains triple strike for the turn. Now, activate main, limit 1, black. If you have 4 more energy and your opponent has 2 more battle cards in play this card from your hand. Like I said, these summon requirements are very, very balanced. This is making it so you have to be on your turn 4. That's just crazy. Now, granted, because it's worded like this, it's very strange. You are on your turn 4. They can be on their turn 3. So that's not exactly too bad, but going first, this is definitely a better card than going second because it counts your energy instead of their energy. Now, when it comes to this card, there's a lot of cool things to say about this, right? He comes down and he's going to be able to give any amount Servant, meaning that your leader is going to be able, if he's in a Zeoaken form, is going to be able to swing and start comboing with massive amounts of cards. Like, you're going to swing and just combo with 2 cards off your opponent's field, putting him potentially like higher and higher. Like, if he's going up to, like, honestly, it's just kind of crazy. You're probably going up to just 30k off the Z leader right then and there. Could be more. But the important part about this is the ramifications when you bring in Vegito and the SCR into it. So hear me out. Let's say your opponent's at 4 life, right? Okay, and you give them the Vegito as a fusion. Vegito comes out, right? And after you play Vegito, actually, you could do it in any sort of order. Because they'd have to have like a battle card out. They likely have a Goku or Vegito on their side of the board. You can literally hit them with the. You can hit them with this card, pay 2, play this card, right? And decide whether or not you want to give it double strike and dual attack or triple strike. Afterwards, you can then fuse the Union Patara for the Vegito. The Vegito will come down, and then you'll draw a card and you'll warp a card from their board. So if they have extra combo power or a blocker, get rid of that. After that happens, since they have 4 life, they actually are going to be put under the auto of that Vegito, so that if you swing with an 8-drop Cumber, they cannot counter. Afterwards, if you have the secret rare in hand, you play the secret rare, you use its on-play ability to warp the Vegito through barrier, and now they don't even have the blocker. So your field is set up with secret rare Cumber at 40k, this SR Cumber sitting at either dual attack, double strike, or triple strike. And then on top of that, you have your leader. And then on top of that, they cannot counter, and they probably don't have any blockers if you've already given that sort of thing. The other kind of cool part is that you also have the ability to, this is the crazy part, you have the ability to give as many things as you want Servant, right? And the way the Z leader works is it's activate battle once per turn. If this card is in battle, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with a Servant and use them in the combo from your combo area. They're in your combo area. That's pretty cool. The unfortunate part is you can't swing with other battle cards and use that. That'd be kind of busted. But this is going to be able to put a lot of damage on board. You have this SCR Cumber and this Cumber that cannot be countered, and they're base 30 and 40Ks. Depending on how much combo power you have in hand, the cool thing is the Cumber SCR will mess up a life. It'll essentially burn a life and give you another body. So what this is going to end up doing is putting your opponent from 4 to 3, and then giving you a triple strike base 30k they can't counter. So you'll be able to swing and put your entire hand in trying to kill them. This is going to line up a shot pretty well outside of blue, where Dirty Burst is extremely potent against this sort of strategy. That being said, Dirty Burst is kind of weird against this deck because this deck has a lot of pressure that comes on the lower levels of cost, and then it also has a fair amount of pressure up on the higher levels. So we'll have to see how this pans out in the future. We'll be doing an archetype breakdown sooner than later because we should be finishing up black pretty soon. Going into our next card, right? We got Fu, all according to plan, so it is not a higher than 6 cost Fu. It's actually, as far as I know, just a Unison, but we could be getting another Fu. This says permanent while your leader is an evil Saiyan or Cumber card, both black, and you have a Fu Z battle card in play. Reduce the specified cost of this card in your hand by 1. Okay, so 15k, 1 drop plus 2 Unison. This is already huge, and if black had any good free counters, this will be massive. But so far, I'm wondering what you can actually abuse. Maybe Spirit Boost card or 2. We'll dive into that a little later. Activate main +2. Limit 1. Choose up to one of your evil Saiyan or Cumber cards, and both black with energy cost 6 or less, and it gains Servant until the end of your opponent's next turn. This is going to be pretty interesting because there are plenty of amount of combos you can do. You can turn 15Ks into 25Ks. You can look at your Cumber that was the dual attack that we just talked about, and you can literally turn it into, its first swing is 19, and then you just +2 it, and its second swing is 29. So you can really pile on the damage here. It's -7, activate main, black, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with Servant, switch it to active mode, and gain control of it. This is also crazy because it's ult money. If your card doesn't have barrier, it's gone. Mine, yink. Like, yoink actually. So like can you imagine like your opponent has swung with a Sin Shinron and wasn't able to give it barrier that turn, or sorry, a Mega Shinron, 30k, and you just, you know what I'm gonna do? Activate main, give it Servant. Activate main, pay a black, I'm going to take it now. And now you have their 30k Omega Shinron. This card is actually pretty high key powerful. It's a 15 base body with +2. That's almost all you need to know. And then on top of that, you're going to be able to protect it with, you know, your blocker negates, things like that. But most importantly, its -7 is not going to be hard to get off. This guy is going to be able to be played and instantly go up to +3. And then, you know, if you can't kill it, it's going to go up another 2, and another 2, another 2. And that -7 is going to be live mid-game, and you can make some really crucial plays with it. So I think this Unison is probably like pretty high on the power scale. It's not doing anything like crazy, but it's also going to be able to boost your own attacks for +2, making you a more aggressive deck. It's 15, so it can get in there itself. And on top of that, it's going to be coming down for 1, which is a huge deal in a black deck where energy efficiency isn't the best. And then its -7 is going to be a game changer. Now, moving on to the last thing, it's Cumber, whatever, I don't know. Like, he looks like he's making the armpit fart noises with his hand. And he's a 20k 2 cost. Like, I guess that's kind of cool. He's just another vanilla for, like, you know, sealed play, draft play. Yeah. Nothing really much about that. But in the comments, let me know what you think about these Cumber cards. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to go through the comments today and start responding to everything. It's been a busy couple of days, finishing off the last of my move, cleaning up the old place. So with that being said, let me know what you think of the Cumber archetype. We probably got a couple cards left, and then we can dive into the archetype breakdown with some little demos and untap. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys the next time, next Dragon Ball video, next One Piece video. Later.